Wouldn't be Counter-Strike if we didn't start with a technical timeout, would it, Alex?
No, man, no, absolutely not. Because the first major on the new engine, a playoffs bracket of the fandom's dreams. This is what we've been waiting for, dude. And this only happens once. NAVI versus G2. Two legendary organizations in the new game about to lock horns in what I hope is 3 maps. What I hope is all the rounds. Is that what you're hoping for? I want headshots, I want clutches, and I want to hear you guys every step of the way. Let's get it on!
Well, some confidence out the gate just in the veto. G2 starting on Anubis, which condemns them to the CT side. I don't think there's anything more difficult in Counter-Strike right now. Might attest to a little bit of confidence from HooXi. A slow start.
A slow start indeed.
NAVI just feeling out any G2 aggressions, and that is going to be par for the course on the T side. What are G2 going to throw their way round after round? This is the type of map where you need to make moves. You need to stay dynamic. The Ts have a lot of advantages, and as we see 3 parked outside B2 coming through Canal, and the U-tilt hits the sky.
HooXi, can he start strong? We know how important these pistols are. NiKo with his signature flash. He throws it. It may be premature. Forced out by the flames, and JL puts him on the floor. Imme in with 1. P250 finds HooXi, and it's already problematic for G2.
Well, we know this retake's going to be difficult. Nexa and m0NESY in combination.
Oh, he's taken off the silencer. He wants to get loud.
This is very tough now.
It's almost impossible, chat. With 4 players breathing down your neck, holding the crossfire and hitting your shots. The Brotherhood, Bit and m0NESY, forced to turn on one another. And there's Imme for the cherry on top. NAVI off to the races on the T-side start on Anubis.
Yeah, that's perfect, right, for NAVI now. Just have to hold them at arm's length. The CT gun rounds, they're going to be the more difficult for G2. They would have been hoping, praying to pick that one, see if they could build a nice little nest of CT side rounds. We can probably start addressing, while we have this technical timeout again, just some of the head-to-head matchups that may come into play.
Sure.
Nexa, he's going to be the A anchor, right? Bid is going to be the individual task with trying to take that territory off of him. So as we see those 2 lock horns, NiKo will be the first responder from middle. You're going to have HooXi and Hunter over towards that B site, and then m0NESY, the loose piece, the AWPer. Right now, I would say the best AWPer of the major. I don't think there's too much of an argument about that, but maybe something that could be a little bit more controversial is Wonderful's position in that conversation. Brokey's been great, but for me, Wonderful's definitely up in the conversation. So we might have, if you'd let argument's sake, the 2 best AWPers of the major going toe-to-toe today. Wonderful taking on m0NESY.
There's something about the way m0NESY plays and approaches this game. It's so fluid, it's almost like he takes every single opportunity in every frame to try and pursue that victory. He's very quick with it. And Wonderful, you know, a lot of people, I saw Mathieu discussing it. Have we been kind of underrating Wonderful? Has he not been getting his flowers, or is this the run that ensures he no longer is mischaracterized?
I feel he's had to put in a few more carry-type performances within this roster. Obviously, a lengthy conversation regarding Imme.
Yeah.
That one's been done to death, so we'll wait and see what the results show in the server today. You've had JL step up to kind of fill that firepower role. So for Wonderful needing to deliver on the AWP, and not just the AWP, he's been great in clutches throughout there in campaign this year.
But Anubis as a first map in this best of 3.
Yeah, and I was touching on it just before. I think for G2, this is the opening map. If this was the second map, and okay, we're already warmed into things, you're coming in cold to a semi-final on a map that is heavily T-bias.
Right.
But G2 chose for this to happen. They knew exactly what would happen, which tells of their confidence in this map. But this is speaking of the... You could have gone in multiple different directions.
A lot of different ways.
So this is something that they obviously feel confident in. Now, you need to make sure that either you're happy to stand and bang when the executes come your way, or you have a plethora of different CT aggressive maneuvers. Doesn't have to be out the gate, doesn't have to be immediate, but needs to come into the round at a certain point.
We know how it looks when a CT side doesn't act proactive.
It's claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's horrible.
They so-call you utility.
Chad, a second round investment.
All right, well, G2 want to fight for the right of the economy right now. Site under pressure towards B so far. A molly and a smoke with a deep dark smoke as well. They're going to push mid. What can they find?
Ooh, good flash. Alexi's going to be coming a lot. Spotted out. Can he find NiKo? Yes, he can. Quick response from JL, finding Hooksy. Some damage, but it's nothing to be worried about already. The site is lost. Big headshot from Nexa, but the rest swept under the rug. They put all of their pennies into it and get nothing.
Quite direct from NAVI, not allowing G2 to play into the round. They're the ones setting the tone. We're not going to default. We're just going to go towards B, apply a lot of pressure. Alexi and JL in combination, dealing with the mid slip. And that's another head-to-head we're going to be seeing on the mid defaults. Alexi taking on NiKo.
Right.
Right now we just have Monacy, who would love to hold on to this Deagle or even find an upgrade to take into the next.
He's not going to be able to find Wonderful. Wonderful's corpse covered by the bomb.
And this is the thing, we talk about G2 and some of their individuals as big game players. Hunter especially has been having a bit of a wonky time. But if he can show up in a match like this, he needs to be given opportunities to do so. So if you're NAVI, you want to make sure you keep things tight. Don't give away a free AK. Don't over-peak the mark. Like, keep the comms as clean as possible and play some by-the-book Counter-Strike to hold G2 at arm's length. Now, this will likely spell a full eco from G2. I think they're not even that crazy. Yeah,
but right now, in terms of game plan, in terms of how they visualize this going, for NAVI, this is perfect. Smooth sailing, dealing with the force buy, and economical to catch your breath, and a 3-0 stun. Now, that's the cheeky smoke. We'll be seeing that a lot. Deep into dark.
Going to force a player down there to either play in front of it or to completely respect it. And Emma, another kill from him. This is very positive signs. And more just aggression over towards B. As I touched on earlier, this will be Hunter and Hooksy's side.
Monacy's joined the party, but he's quickly removed. Hang on, Emma. It's going to do a lot for his confidence. You know, we always say it, and people assume in jest, but some players, they need the early frags to get the juices flowing.
Yeah, even if it's just on the pistol or against the Eagles, hit just on the pistol with such an influential round, but for sure. And if he's feeling hot, then he'll be willing to take more risks throughout the game.
Sure.
And those risks, right, they can be classified as a mistake if it doesn't work, or can look like an absolute genius. But this is quite a spotless 3-0 start from NAVI. Bomb down again. Cash going to be flowing. Plenty of residual for the majority of the members. And we are about to get into that first gun round, which will be a tone setter. Did G2 go aggressive? That's the big question for NAVI. And in these first few, especially against the force buy and now the lighter investment, it has been very direct towards this B bomb site. So we have to see what Alexi, who said he doesn't think he's in the head of Hooksy, but he's definitely got him in the pocket.
5-0, dude.
Yeah, the record speaks for itself, doesn't it?
He doesn't have to say anything in that interview. Yeah, the record does all of it for us. And there is Romanian presence in the arena. I'm seeing the flags. Ima representing an entire nation. And there's a lot of Counter-Strike fans from there who everyone has traveled a great distance to be here today. Some just down the road, sure, but majority, it's a plane, it's a boat. And here we go.
All out for Monacy.
That's going to be an important trend. Monacy on the AWP, keeping it dynamic. He tells them where he's going.
Lurk smoke towards B quite immediately. You just saw that get deployed. So question marks for this B defense, where Nexa starting traditionally the A anchor.
This might be a rude shot for Bit if he pokes his nose into trouble. And just like that, Monacy connects his opening contribution for G2 in this semi-final.
But if it sends them, oh, look at this, aggression from Hooksy. So they're playing on both extremities right now, G2. Hooksy, is he going to overstay his welcome?
Oh, the angle, the crosshair placement, it was perfect from Hooksy. Immer, he has his skull rattled. And just 4 HP, hanging on by a strand. He lives on, and the man advantage, which could have been 2.
Well, they've almost corralled them towards Canal and middle. Like the fact that they've shown the AWP towards main, they've been aggressive out B as well. It really leaves NAVI only a few choices.
I'm intrigued to see how NiKo's mid fights go. And this is his first test. It's wonderful with a Galil. Oh dear.
That's the bait and switch setup. Nex is meant to swing and mop up the mess.
Yeah, but Alexi was ready. He was so ready. And now that man advantage, it's squandered, it's gone, it's lost. Monacy under so much scrutiny, and he's losing players left and right. One back from Hooksy. Monacy alive with 2 bullets in the mag. If he can connect, because Wonderful's got his number right now. And a 1 versus 3 for G2's IGL. Oh, damage. Significant damage. That's the same as when he found Immer. He still hasn't found the lethality he would hope for. Solid crossfire. JL strafes out. And you got another.
And going for that retake is quite audacious as well. It's the type of the round, even with a number advantage on the CT side, you're going to have a tough time breaking in towards that A site.
Was m0NESY going to get out, though? I mean, that was a lost AWP regardless.
No, I just mean there from HooXi.
Yeah,
could have been
right.
saving the M4, could have poked something through. This is in middle where it's all gone wrong, so the flash is good. NiKo looks away. Nexa on the swing gets caught by Alexi. That's fantastic coverage from Alexi there. It's really set them up, and him getting fired up as well. Still a spotless start. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, because for G2, if they can get themselves 3 or 4 rounds on this CT side, they will be happy with that. So NAVI going through the paces, but Pistol, clean conversions, the gun round looked worrying, and they bailed themselves out of a number of disadvantaged scenarios. So far, just green lights for NAVI.
I mean, this was what G2 knew was a possibility with the Anubis pick.
The problem is they played that round very well.
Right.
And they still weren't able to convert it. Missed smoke there, just highlighted by the Ops team, but no real worries. A main control. See, Bit got dealt with by an AWP on his first A main control gambit, right? You want to try and apply pressure towards Nexa, who's going to be there, but wasn't. So we'll have to see if these games of moving these CT pieces around will continue. You need to stay dynamic. You need to stay fluid on the CT side. Keep your opponent guessing. But so far, NAVI, this is a stroll in the park.
Interesting flash. It's just to clear out A main close. So Bit will hear that. NiKo, oh, that molly caused him a lot of strife. Has he got the nade with NiKo's number on it? It's not far off the mark from Alexi. Searching A is Bit. No AWP this time, he knows that for sure. And it's HooXi on the floor, Nexa down after 1. m0NESY nails the Deagle headshot. Maybe there's more to be said here. The pressure in mid, NiKo trying to provide support, but smoked off for the moment. And 30 seconds, the pressure is on that bomb carrier. Wonderful, what's the go? What's the decision? Alexi, oh, he's supposed to be pulling the strings! Now he's sleeping with the fishes. Him and back, 2-on-2, wonderful on the bomb, into the open A site. It should be NiKo, down and out. And Hunter yet to frag, heading the wrong way.
m0NESY did an awful lot there to make that round competitive, but just getting caught between the extremity and having to deal with middle. So far, he's well, the only one to put up what's felt like resistance in these rounds. I know we've only had 5 play, but there's a multi-kill for him and the AWP kill. So those are tone setters, potential difference makers.
Yoink.
But look at that scavenge. Hunter, ever resourceful. We'll be able to hold on to quite the prized possession going into the next round of play. So far, the Romanian on a bit of a rampage. 9-1 from Imma.
Can you speak to the form he found in Paris? I mean, everyone talks about it like it's this mythological beast.
Well, that's why he's on the mythological beast of NAVI.
Right.
That's why they spent so much money to pick him up. Same with JL, the prospects of the Paris major.
But just sky high.
And look, they took the gamble on them, and apparently it's paid off.
Score.
Tactical timeout called. An opportunity for us to discuss the coaches. Blade, the puppet master of NAVI on one side, but this one's been called by Taz, a legend of the game in his own right.
Yeah, the pilot of the plow.
And what's his contribution going to be? Or is this just to allow the team to have a bit of a breather? 5 rounds. They haven't been the quickest of rounds, but it feels like it's gone in the blink of an eye if you're G2. You haven't really been able to contend thus far. The first gun round, it started fantastically, but fell apart with poor trading in middle.
Yeah, you're right. That first gun round felt like it was a really good sign of life out of G2. Everything was working. HooXi had the space. m0NESY got the opener. The smoke landed. HooXi get the dink on Imma.
It makes that kill. It's a whole different round.
Okay, yeah, it was a 3v5 if he hits that, and it's awkward. It's awkward for the remaining 3.
This is an aggressive maneuver highlighted here. Hunter with an aggressive smoke towards T-stairs. So let's see if they push off the back of this.
Oh, it's smoke and mirrors. Let's find out. Flash as well from the dark position. The smoke lands. You can see their options are limited. Gia cross through it. Wonderful thinking about it. Bit occupies rugs. A nade on the smoke. Forward of this deep dark smoke. So m0NESY, he's forced to commit to this. Both teams using evolutionary smokes. Looking for that opener. And there's JL giving it a look in. m0NESY, an unusual miss. But he comes back for more. Rewarded for the greed this time. 2 men set up. The Balkan brothers in arms. It's Nexa and NiKo. Holding on to the A site. They repel the invaders and in the same breath, take B.
This is exactly what G2 need to be doing. Keep moving, keep playing for space, and finding frags. There you go. HooXi will get the better of him this time round.
Alexi's in a power position, Chad. There's something here. It's not much,
Look how active they are.
NiKo looking for trouble, catches it. Kalashnikov on Alexi. Has he got another? Nexa denies. That's important to the 2v4. Will G2 convert this one?
Again, staying proactive. They keep moving, keep searching for info, never allowing NAVI just to stay stable and set up. Bit low, AWP on AWP.
Bit versus Monacy, and he's taken him down. The head-to-head right now favors Bit between the two of them.
They know Nex is around.
This can't go wrong, can it? Wonderful. Dead to Nexa. That's the round, surely. Bit with no HP, no hope, and no health. G2 are on the board, folks.
That one's going to feel good. Danish representation in both semi-finals, and I'm sure the crowd would love to see HooXi and Carrigan locking horns in a grand final.
It's almost too poetic.
But that's essentially a round that's attested to everything we've been discussing with this CT side and what's necessary from G2. I think Monacy is given the green light to play. He is an absolute monster, right? If he overpeaks and dies, so be it. But he is the difference maker in a lot of their rounds. So the fact that he stays stubborn and is able to find that opening pick, you're going to need plenty more of that.
Different smoke.
Yeah, different variation, and softened by the nade JL. The back and forth of the utility. Maybe they want to try and pressure NiKo in middle. Yet to get off the mark, 0 and 6. But Monacy, I said he's that loose piece. He's the flair. He gets to be wherever he wants. Can call his own picks, can call his own fights.
Got that flash support set up. Deters Bit's progress on A. Alexi cooking mid.
He'll be under pressure in a moment.
Monacy's having a look, trying to catch the right window of opportunity. Turns the flash. The molly will subside shortly. If he peeks into this, Wonderful should have his number in the AWP head-to-head. Both of these players, both of these AWPers are a spectacle to behold. And they both seem to come alive on the stage. Down goes Wonderful. NiKo builds upon it. It's a massacre in mid.
Well, that's more like it. That's what they were hoping to get out of that setup earlier in the piece. This time, Monacy and NiKo, the star power of G2 in combination. Snuff NAVI out to post what should be a second round, and the first time they can post consecutive. There it is. NiKo on the march. 5-2, a 3-round difference as they whittle down the finances of NAVI now.
Does it feel to you, Chad Birchall, that NiKo's starting to get a bit more comfortable in this CS2?
Well, his tweet the other day didn't fill me with too much confidence, but I think when you're on the stage in a match like this, you forget about some of the issues that you've been caused, and you can just go for fights. Take the jewels, use that aim.
Widely regarded as the most proficient master of the crosshair.
I'll take a look at this. NAVI have been able to buy back in, but a few omissions in the firepower. Alexi and Bit having to stomach something a little bit lighter. Not keeping it direct either.
Oh, hello. Hunter's giving it a look in. It's JL, spots him out, and he's seen enough. A lot of early pressure, though.
Well, they need to continue with these jarring CT aggressions. See this time doing it. Molly jiggle combo over towards B main. Monacy also starting to edge over for a pick, so they're looking for info.
So dynamic. Will Immer be ready for this? He's holding that sliver gap. He's just fallen off. That's a hard shot to go for. Wasn't too far off. It whistles past the nose of Immer.
They know where the AWP is now. Do they try and respond to put pressure on towards this A site? They're regrouping. They have baskets control.
Okay, nexa. Big test ahead of you here. And he's got NiKo in support. You can see a lot of communication for G2.
And HooXi's not too far away either. HooXi even has a HE, a flash, and a molly.
Nade forward. And a forward stance from the defense. Ahead of any flashbangs. The nade on the smoke. It's about to be a bloodbath! Nexa with 4! Unbelievable spray! Sends NAVI back to spawn, tail between their legs.
Right now, a bit sheepish at NAVI. They're being herded around the map by G2. All these little aggressions, they're making it uncomfortable. You can never just get the control you're looking for. And I wonder if this flicks a switch. I wonder if we see a NAVI timeout before the next gun round and they try and just go with tempo, with pace. As it is just wonderful to try and retain this AWP. They're attempting to cut him off with the pass. He would love to be able to hold this, but...
Oh my God, they're hunting him.
And this is perfect, the fact that they're doing it together.
Yeah, the Bloodhounds partner up, nose to the ground, looking to take him down. HooXi, he will be a victim to the AWP. Has Wonderful gotten away with this?
Coming.
He just rounds the corner. The whole squad are hot on his trail, but I think Wonderful has done enough. And he gets away with it. That could be a difference maker. Another round for G2 though, Chad.
Well, you want to try and set up. We'll check this one out again. Beautiful stuff, right? The two of them, again, just staying active, getting in the face, not allowing the execute to play behind it. They're the ones making sure that they're ready to take those duels.
And you can attest, don't you feel a fool when you clear the smoke and you're the one that gets owned?
Just these eyes with big guns staring straight at you.
Yeah.
You don't even look in the right way. Well, you've got to say, oh, run boost.
Go on. Oh, we might go Dark Peak. This could be spicy. Wonderful. Looking for a quick pace change. Looking to make impact with an opener. Smoke obscures his view. He'll have to think of another plan. A tut of his tongue as he backs away. Hunter with a early spray, doesn't connect.
All-on-all action.
It's a strong angle, wonderful. Down and out. It's m0NESY in the feed first. The orb, the potency, neutered. Progression, HooXi, aggressive. This is brutal. Bomb, gone. Imet, next victim for HooXi. He's got bullets to spare. I say that, maybe he doesn't. He calls upon Hunter. 5 alive for G2 to continue this run.
Yeah, and you can see how desperate that was from Wonderful, right? The opening pick towards Dark was their way in. He had the AWP on his own. Bit had to head on over late to pick that up, and m0NESY getting fired up now. This is starting to look like a very, very tidy CT half. And the fact it's consecutive. Remember, the way we got here was off the back of a timeout. And speaking of timeouts, now we'll see one from Blade. As discussed, when the guns come back out, do we see a pace change, more direct play from NAVI? These defaults are being forced, being pushed. So if you were hoping to play out the map, bait out utility, HooXi has an awful lot of answers.
G2 certainly do. And we see Blade on the mic. Blade and Bit, the only remnants of the NAVI of Stockholm. And the timeout called, the first for them.
Fans reminding us of some of the G2 victories with HooXi at the helm.
Yeah, they haven't got an empty cabinet.
No, definitely helping NiKo etch his name in the history books.
Yeah, but the elusive Major, Chad.
Oh, well, you'd love a third crack at it, wouldn't you? This time against Carrigan and Rain.
Oh, come on.
All right. Well, the weapons are out. NAVI took the timeout. What is going to be the change? He smokes towards B. Honestly trying to set them up for aggression with those flashes. Imet needs to find a fight.
He's looking for one. He has eaten that flashbang. That's a full duration white screen. How has he still not seen him? They don't clear him. And 3 in the feed for NAVI. Off the back of the timeout. Blade's call takes a slice out of the G2 defense. It's got to be curtains for this round, unless nexa comes alive again on A. This anchor grounds NAVI.
m0NESY needs to get activated somehow. There's so many question marks right now for G2 in this round. Sure, nexa's made it somewhat interesting, but if he goes down, it's over. And yeah, there it is. So Alexi will sweep through middle, clear out that problem. But where's m0NESY gotten off to? That's the next question for NAVI.
He's in so much trouble, but m0NESY's having a look.
It's on the timing.
This is what he loves.
Might be able to squeeze through a gap. Oh, scope hurt, I'm sure.
Oh, he's a dead man. Yeah, the late lurk out of Imet seals the deal. NAVI, off the back of the timeout, return to their winning ways. It was a run from G2, and Alexi going to be very happy with that one. This is T-side Anubis, Chad. You already set the bar around 4.
Yeah, they've managed to hit that. So if G2 can continue to push the issue and grab a couple more, they're going to be happy moving in towards halftime. But thus far, NAVI with 6 to their name. At least tied the half. We've had pretty decisive rounds on either side. It hasn't been a tussle. There hasn't been any crazy clutches needing to come into play. No huge heroics just yet.
Yeah, the nexa double did get me a little excited.
Well, here's the m0NESY A main AWP yet again.
Okay, well, let's see how well-trained Bit is. A lot of the most proficient riflers in the world love to play this role. And he's got the info, and a leg shot onto Wonderful. NiKo, electric from Alexi. Loses his head, and now, m0NESY eats the flash, the quick panic from the rotation. You can see 3 players just magnetized to mid off of Alexi's find.
You have to push extremities now. You can't just bunker down on towards the sights. Losing middle puts so much pressure on the CTs. G2 You just hope to block with the U2. You've actually held on to a decent bag, couple smokes, couple mollies.
You talk about the importance of middle. NiKo's going to be frustrated to have conceded that one.
That was that head-to-head against Alexi I was discussing.
Yeah. Let's see what m0NESY can cook up here. They're clearing. And saw another damage, but no frag. That's 2 tags.
Just him here.
From m0NESY, the whole squad barreling towards the AWP, and Alexi just handing out haircuts to G2.
The entire round essentially on his shoulders right there, and he's going to be kicking himself. The fact that Wonderful and JL are both walking a little bit funny. The problem is they're still walking.
Yeah, their hearts are beating, and for G2, you might have to just put the fishing rod in the water, see if anything comes your way.
Well, this is what they like to do in a lot of these retake rounds. They hang around, they try and be a little bit of a nuisance. If somebody from NAVI will make a mistake, then they could justify a retake. But if you lose all these rifles, it will spell trouble for the remainder of this half. And well, speaking of remainder, there'll just be 1 round left.
He heard the dismount there. Alexi's communicating, and he wants to try and twist the knife. He's being baited in by Bit Spam, plays the fade, and now Hunter looks away. They are coming for these rifles. They want to take it all away from G2. They want to make this hurt. Well, there's a trajectory that implies Beach is occupied. They all get away. G2 preserved 3 rifles, but it's a 7th round for NAVI's T side.
Yeah, okay. Holding on to their goods, making sure that there aren't going to be any emissions within the buy. Plenty of cash for everybody to get out what's required. Is there enough to get the AWP in the hands of m0NESY? I'd say so. The Des discussed the stats for Alexi. Not being great, being pretty miserable. Well, I think it's a good time for the in-game leader to have a good game on his birthday, no less.
There tends to be volatility in an IGL frags.
Yes.
You know all about that.
That's for sure. There's no question mark. But Alexi could definitely have pop-off games. Well, I think that previous gun round where Immer able to get behind them is new to the CT aggression, at least for now.
NiKo doesn't shy away from a spam. Now this combo of smoke and molly will force his hand. He'll have to play back. We'll see. This time he's in the right place. Will he find lethality? These leg shots were insufficient. And oh, it's wonderful! Oh, and a second, he builds the round and then tears G2 down. Click of his mouse, only Hunter, and JL ready for it. Comfortable on the semi-final environment. An 8th round for NAVI secured. I say that as I still see NiKo edging closer.
Well, they have to.
He's given it a go.
Final round of the half.
But there's nothing here for you. There is absolutely nothing here for you but misery and another death in the column. A nade to the face puts him down. 4 frags in this half from NiKo. He makes it 5. Time ticks. Support arrives. Nexa with a kit and a smoke, maybe. Alexi B has locked it in for the 8th, and there we have it. Wonderful. Sensational. And 8.
That shot that he hit on m0NESY must have been something. m0NESY shot first, gets him through the wall, headshot, follows up with the second. That essentially secures it. But the people of the Royal Arena have been hard at work as well, apparently. Having fun on their Saturday evening.
Yeah, I don't think any Counter-Strike fan could think of a better way to spend a Saturday. At Counter-Strike 2's first major in a sold-out stadium watching Counter-Strike like this.
What did Bank say, 16,000 people?
16,000, dude.
We'll take a moment to pause. 8-4 on the half. G2 can pick up the pistol. They can work with the 4. Here's that shot from Wonderful. Oh, just working with the legs.
Oy.
And quick into the second on Hooksy, a fantastic trade. JL, we didn't have to say his name an awful lot, but he's been having a great tournament, and I guess that is a very positive sign for NAVI. Here we go. This is a through, U-tilt for nexa. Dual Berettas in the hands of Immer with a smoke, and they're going quick towards middle. JL.
Oh, drop. You'll hear this and lose his head.
But it's a fake. It's a fake. The bomb's still middle. The bomb's still going to middle.
It will force a rotation. Is he expecting this? Alexi. Oh, what a shot! Takes down the bomb. Info flows. Big one from JL. A double kill onto the G2 star.
Oh, this gets awkward now for G2. Do you go A or B?
Hunter's in. He'll be getting the bomb down. Smoke towards A main. Maybe Wonderful can catch a timing through it as he punches in the code. No one's looking. He's already through. Up towards the pillar. Hunter, a quiet game. Him and NiKo, the cousins. The Kovac cousins, and now only NiKo. A 1 versus 2 to set the tone. It's wonderful again. A double kill to give NAVI the edge in the first map of the semi-final.
Well, the Des discussed the head-to-head. Wonderful. m0NESY, 2 names for the future, playing on the major stage now. And Wonderful with impact. From the tail end of the half now into the pistol round, 9-4. The bomb goes down. So for G2, the round salvaged. We'll check this out again. That was a great shot from Alexi because the bomb gets tossed forward immediately. JL with some bangers, and Wonderful just with the icing on top of the cake. JL getting fired up about that one. As mentioned, the bomb went down. Hunter secured that. We know that means rifles. An AK, some Galils, a MAC-10, a Deagle in the hands of Nexa, and some util to work with.
The scoreline, it may look alarming. But this is T-side Anubis, this is G2.
But this is an all-in shove. If you don't make this one work, it's going to be 10 to NAVI. You don't keep it close, you don't get another plant. Likely 11 before we see G2 buy again.
What are you doing here, Hooksy? He's going for a bit of a crazy one. Through the smoke into EMF. One hell of a frag. Alexi claws it back, keeps it level. Pressure applied, nades in the sky. Wonderful's here. Has he got another? He spots them over the smoke, so do they. Limited vision. m0NESY versus Wonderful. Does it continue? It's m0NESY's turn. NiKo another. This force bite, it's found legs, it's found its footing. They're into the site. Hunting through the flames is Hunter. That's his second frag, Chad, but it sealed the round.
Damn. Hunter, we were saying a big game player at the start of the series, and only 2 kills. It's very, very quiet. A bit likely to try and retain this M4, but that's exactly what we were discussing. If G2 weren't able to break through, the half was going to get dire. Now there's a real chance to start the conversation. They just have to deal with this save and whatever NAVI are able to invest into the next.
And you have to admire Hooksy there.
Well, yeah, he knew he had to take a bit of a risk, right? Coming through the smoke, catches them on an off timing, breaks the way in towards B, opens the door, and then his team comes through and follows through. So 9-5, a 4-round gap. What's available to come around this A1S? Just going to be the pistol upgrade, so nothing crazy. Deagle for JL, 5.7s in the mix.
These can be some of the most scary rounds though, Chad.
Wow, with the smokes in play, it depends on how quickly G2 want to operate within this round. NAVI are going to try and block them and push them in towards the stacks. Lick of nade damage on top. JL will have to back away a bit on top of the boost. See if we can catch them. Oh, he's seen enough of that.
This is where you do, as you said, have to try and keep track of those smoke grenades. If you run down the clock a little too much, if you're a little too cautious, time can get away from you. Proactivity and a double molly.
Standard protocols to clear out these close corners. Mid completely secure. Hooksy leading the charge again with the MAC-10 in hand. Mid could be the difference maker.
Oh, Nexa, that's a fumble. He's lost out on the opening duel.
They can't really react off the back of it either. Look where the bomb is.
Look how much space he's got. He hears Alexi here.
Might have been spotted on the jump.
It's possible, through the glass, yeah. Alexi's holding this line. If you try the smoke, you're going to be at a 2-man disadvantage.
Oh, this is tough for G2.
This is really uncomfortable now. Hooksy, how good's your clear, bro?
180 degrees. You never want to push through a position like that. Well, having to reassess within this mid-round. A player down, so many unknowns, 40 seconds time against you.
And the rifle was seen B. Regardless, the call is made. 30 seconds, Hooksy to lurk late. And down goes Alexi, that's a big find. He went looking for answers and he just gets bullets. Oh, and there's just one efficiency from m0NESY. Wonderful back, Hooksy flanking, Imez gone, and G2 with 14 seconds to spare.
2 rounds in a row where Hooksy has been able to find impact. Sure, not the craziest of kills, but the way that they changed the shape of what could have unfolded. Great job from the Danish in-game leader. Keeps G2's head afloat, because that was worrisome. The clock was ticking. If they didn't have to worry about the mid to B split, right? The rotation from Alexi could have been there.
Right.
Bit and Ima could have kept their attentions towards Dark as well as B main.
So just by virtue of not pushing into Temple, Hooksy gave them something to work with.
Yeah, good stuff from Hooksy. Well, 2 rifles to be retained as JL and Wonderful both been able to pick up some prize possessions. G2 claw ever closer. It's a 3-round game now, working back into things, but it's still not going to be an easy round. There'll be some pistols that can be dropped. Right, it was Bit who saved the rifle in the previous. That means that Wonderful and JL, not only do they get upgrades into rifles, they still have the residual pistols. So there's 4 booby traps at a minimum to deal with as you move into the next round of play. So they're going to have to do this the tough way, G2. These aren't going to be easy. They're not going to be given to them. It'll be more tough decision making. And this shot from Monacy, check this one out. Bang! Bit in a power position. The molly would have done the job, but the bullet did first. NAVI will be feeling quite happy that they still have a chance to contend for this round. But this is a little bit more direct. Take a look at the pieces on the radar. G2 moving in one direction as a unit. It's not the default spread. They want to try and go for a bit more of an uppercut finish. Good block on the smoke. If an info play comes out for NAVI now, they can understand where the finish could be likely. Sticking to the gun, sticking to the call. And NAVI are gambling.
Incorrectly. Full exec, look at this. Everything, single spot, a smoke, a Molotov. It's diligent, it's clinical, it's beautiful. It's definitely Counter-Strike, and it's going to lead to a full cleared sight 5v5.
Well, the conversation changes. Damage on the agenda for NAVI now. How many of these rifles can they take away? How much financial impact can they inflict on G2?
You have to strike a balance, right? You don't want to be giving away anything to these CTs. But Monacy, he's happy to go looking. Doesn't really have support here, and JL loses his rifle. Monacy going around the world. Bit spotted. Look how sharp this kid is. He's not scared, he's not shy. Takes down some of the rifles they hope to bring through to the next.
Oof, I could have used a couple of those, really. Only 2,400 is the loss bonus coming into this one. We'll have to see how they make the buy work now, V, and how that's going to limit their options on this CT side. But Monacy continuing to show that fantastic form. Getting fired up. This is what his dreams were all those years ago, but now he's on the big stage, on the major stage. You know what it takes to lift a big trophy, but not a major trophy, and he'd love to get himself in that grand final.
You know, for him as well, just a trophy in the game.
Well, take a look there. There's Kenny S in the crowd. He made a tweet before this game went live, agreeing with the desk, the head-to-head, this wonderful Monacy matchup could be a deciding factor. I think he said would be the deciding factor for who picks up this series.
Well, he knows very well about orbs and head-to-heads. Likely a large inspiration to some of the Orpus of today.
Alexi taking the bitter pill of the FAMAS. The rest are going to get some tidy rifles in their hands, and even Wonderful's AWP in the mix. The same can't be said for Monacy.
This is aggressive. Look at JL. There's no way they're ready for that. Hooksy blindsided by an aggressive JL.
Feels like they're forced in towards B. They have to go.
They know there's less players here. He's gone pushing. A nice shot from Wonderful. Takes down NiKo. Bit another. Nexa, the difference maker. He's found the double. Extinguish required. Wonderful under scrutiny. Just a Glock. No reload. Can he really do more? Go on, Nexa. Triple kill as G2 1 kill away from making this a one-round game. The impact we've seen from G2's newest addition here in the semi-final is already impressing. A fake plant in there. He's had a strong game so far. A winnable clutch and plenty of time. Now, he heard the plant. The smoke will fade. Another one takes its place, this time on main. hoping to be overlooked, hoping for a misstep from these two. That time limits his options. The crossfire is strong, the weapon is perfect. Nexa, a 4th kill! Incredible work from Nexa.
Was that a 2v5? It all happened in the blink of an eye. Was that a 2v5 that they just pulled off?
Wonderful gets another on jail, Bit gets another one. I think you're onto something.
It was just a brawl. Quick. It was just an absolute biff on B, right? But it all just quickly fell back in the face. Look at this. So wonderful Bit. Yeah, 100% a 2v5. Right, because it was just deathmatch. Well, this is where you want to put them. Nexa and m0NESY in a bit of deathmatch to pull out a 2v5, a massive round to win.
Unbelievable work.
And that's a tempo setter. That's NAVI trying to dictate the pace of the first gun round. We were talking about the CT aggressions, G2 doing the same thing. But look, we've had both of these teams in first gun rounds have number advantage situations, but that was a 2v5. That was nowhere near the same as what G2 were dealing with. There's an opening pick and a dink. That's all they had off their aggressions. That's huge, and this is as well. HooXi continues to be a menace towards this B site.
So now you've got the advantage. It's about how you finish.
Well, they should be able to tie things up 9-9, no question about that. Just going to be some pistols they have to get past.
Yeah, and understandably, NAVI want to just hedge their bets, right? You want to put these pistols together, strength in numbers.
G2 on a bit of a roll right now.
I mean, who isn't going to be invigorated when you see Nexa pulling off plays like that? He didn't even bother to reload. He knew there was an AWPer in a smoke panicking. And he ran at it with a Glock, a nade from his teammate. It was a beautiful sequence from G2.
Oh, how quick it was. They were the ones under pressure, and they're the ones applying pressure.
There's something for Alexi to work with, and the bomb is maneuvering towards him, but he has no support. And he has no head. m0NESY makes him dead. It is getting problematic here for NAVI. This is going to be a 9-9 game. This T side is flying for G2.
Difficult for JL to overstay his welcome there again. Lost bonus built now. NAVI, of course, getting into a buy into the next. It's been a damage, saving weapons, but I feel like G2 are now in control of the game. This is going to be a 5-round streak with m0NESY and Nexa. You mentioned the newest edition. Let's call him the newest old edition. The Vulcan Brotherhood reunited on the march to another major final.
Yeah, they've been there before, though.
Yeah, against NAVI.
No less.
Back in Stockholm. That's where they had that loss, a 2-0. NAVI, a completely different looking roster. Bit and Blade, the only two that reside.
Speaking of Bit.
Cleaning house, just JL. G2 tying things up.
Friends turned enemies.
Look at the smile on his face.
He was built for stages like these.
The infectious joy of a kid who gets to play on Counter-Strike's biggest stages, just having fun.
Both of them, both of them. But m0NESY has the edge right now. It's undoubted.
We still haven't had any crazy tussles of rounds. I would say that is probably one of the first, really, that looked like it was going one way and then ended up the other. A real back and forth. The 2v5 is now the buy again. Himmer having to operate with a FAMAS after that hero M4 in the previous. Couldn't make a dent with it whatsoever, and here he comes again. HooXi, the king of Canal.
He's not going to try again, is he?
Oh, why the hell not?
He's got an Imme's number. And surely Imme, yeah, he's wise to this. Look at his crosshair placement. He is ready for the HooXi play! Oh, but he holds his nerve, holds his spray. Full white screen. Imme gets away with 10 HP. The nade, the flame. He could go down here. They fumble it. It's actually the nade from Hunter that does its work. They managed to throw that in from B side. Outside B main, they catch him on the retreat. So it makes it a 4-on-4. Wonderful searching. Doesn't want to overstep the line, doesn't want to step into the line of fire of m0NESY. He's not there. It's Nexa in a safe spot for now.
Well, they're hitting the pause. They're waiting for these CT reaggressors at G2 after they've leveled up the field. Still enough utility to go for the execute, and there's a little bit of a gallivant from the CT. Starting to take a look towards middle. Nexa lobs one high in the sky. JL will have an awful lot of information.
Well, that's an intimidating set of smokes. A wall erect on B now, and wonderful turns his attention. Oh, the timing. It was there. Nexa, he will convert. Dispatches of wonderful. Bomb to be planted. Bits rotation about to be cut down. The pre-fire. He still doesn't hit it. Maybe there's something to be said here. G2 defending it. The cousins at arms, it's NiKo and Hunter. Double swing! And a double kill! It's all onto Alexi! He knows where they are. He has the kit. How can he isolate these jewels? He's got 19 bullets, everything he needs. Do they double swing? It's going to be NiKo down first. Hunter knows it's planted for him. Does he swing off the nade? Jiggle bait! Alexi B has done enough. He disrupts the cousins and takes the 10th by 4. How have they let that one slip?
I'm pretty sure he shot before the commit from Hunter. Takes the jewel. The moment getting the better of him, and the birthday boy picks up a big one.
It's planted for Dark.
Nexa, a great round from him. You think he even had the third there. That pre-fire does come back to cost him. Hunter with a great round as well, putting the pressure. There was the nade, there was some shots, and then Hunter with the commit. Thought he could get the better of him, just had to play the clock. A bit of a fumble there from G2 with the number advantage.
They just go straight back in, dude. The emotions are rattling around in their skull as we play on.
Is that the lifeline for NAVI to get back into things? Pistol forced by loss, and now a gun round. An unlikely gun round. G2, they've been marching through this half. More than enough money to get themselves out of a full buy. They win this one, they put NAVI back in a hole. Those type of mistakes in MR12, those echoes, those regrets, see if it comes back to bite them. Default spread from G2. AWP being called back off the line. Hooksy moving his pieces around. Monacy scooping up that bomb outside B. Hunter again. Next up, looks like a similar round in terms of the individuals. Hooksy didn't have the successes. We see the smoke and mirrors being blown open. JL clears top middle. How do you feel like they're hedging on an A play? Look at the radar.
Ooh, you're right. It's only Immer here. Bit's going to start searching, but is it a little too late? They're held at bay. Good smoke.
They can nade it open and go.
Immer repositions and a great spam. He's found NiKo. Hope and a prayer from Monacy. Look what they're cooking on the flank. He's just trying to keep him busy. Immer, outrageous double. They have the man advantage here, and the Monacy plant is important. Extends clock. G2 now defending. Their bomb plant. Hooksy might not be ready. Oh! How has he done that? Great headshot. It is the 3-on-3. Monacy as well can work some magic here. Great flash. Oh, spotted out by Bit. They're going to overwhelm him. JL's done well there. Next, a fight in tooth and nail. Knows where they both are. It all falls to Hooksy. One, but not two. Bit will steal another away, and G2 now surely on the verge of collapse.
Back-to-back clutches. Those are the difference makers. NAVI. They brawl their way into that. Immer, a mammoth task. He was the only defender of that B bomb site. Hooksy with the kill onto Alexi. You think it buys space. The spam through. NiKo goes down. The tip of the spear. The follow through. The fact he knows he needs to make a play. Brilliance. And then Bit into the AWP for the trade. Immediate. And Alexi's happy with that one.
I'm no body language expert, but that was almost surprise on Alexi's face. They pulled it off. An 11th. CT side rounds on Anubis. They come at a premium. Oh. And here comes Monacy. Oh, no!
Lightning fast from Monacy.
As quick as a flash, he takes down two. The round has only just begun, but already NAVI in jeopardy. At the hands of Monacy.
Well, how do they get back into this one? A minute and 25 seconds to find out.
Just when you think G2 are out, it's Monacy just pulling them right back in.
You want to play heads-up Counter-Strike against the kid. He's quick. We talk about it. And after the hard work of the 1v1s, that means the finances haven't been able to build for NAVI. This is an important round if they decide to go for it.
Well, Wonderful's going to be tested here. Sure, Monacy, he's fast. He's impressive. Can Wonderful match his output? It's one. It's not easy. It's not simple. And two will do. Enough to get the plant for G2. There's no way back in. You can't surely give this a go. Alexi, Bit, Chad's talked about the finances. They're looking at the abacus and they're realizing there's just not enough.
And the crowd knows what that means. G2 hit double digits. A one-round game once more. Well, that's all m0NESY. Wonderful, tried to be that disruptive force. He did fantastic. He had double of his own, but it's just too much. G2 didn't over-push the issue. They took their time. They traded him out somewhat efficiently. You can see his corpse there laid on the side. They'll even be able to throw that AWP away. Don't want to allow it to blow over into the hands of NAVI.
Oh man, I was convinced G2 were in the bin. And then m0NESY hits him with that. We're going to see that one again in the replay. This is just poetry in motion. Charging down the canals, thinking you've got the edge, and then m0NESY's AWP, quick as that. Converted now by G2. We've got a one-round game, folks. Bang! Smoke, flash, doesn't matter. Irma leaping out of the window. Wonderful gave it a good go. One more would have done it, or at least had them interested, but the nade, it sealed his fate. A one-round game.
They haven't gone all in here. Wonderful's actually brought out a scout. We'll see if he can get it done with the lighter option. Gonna need to be tags or headshots because m0NESY can just hit the body. Alexi in the dirt B. Under fire. There's an A-main push. Nexa under pressure.
This is promising. He's anticipating it. But Bit, he's sharp. Converts an important frag, keeps it level. That's another from Irma.
Map's just shrunk for G2. They're in a box. This would be one way for NAVI to get 12. It was a brittle and broken buy. It wasn't a full investment.
Half of them don't even have Kev. Irma's done that without.
And a scout.
How is this falling apart? m0NESY to bail them out. He misses the shot. The imposter. And it's Hunter. Only one left. JL with the triple. They had nothing. A couple of pistols, a rifle or two. And just like that, it's NAVI with 2 opportunities to take the first map of this semi-final.
The type of rounds they've been able to win on this CT side, those are the ones you can't bank on. You can't bank on winning back-to-back clutches. You can't bank on getting it done with a couple of saved rifles and a scout upgrade. Irma went from hero to losing a frag to hero again.
Yeah, the B site so far, it's in his domain.
And that was with the m0NESY opener.
Yeah.
So that push from Bit onto Nexa, as I said, it shrunk the map. So much pressure, and they were just condemned. And it's NiKo and Hunter, the final 2 remaining. And those 2 have been having the toughest time for G2. Those 2 are the players that you should be able to turn towards to bail you out of bigger problems.
Now, from an IGL perspective, Alexi knows he's got 2 opportunities, right?
Last time he tried the aggression, they ran into m0NESY. They want to try something like that again. Doesn't look to be the case early out the gates. m0NESY again posting up with the AWP. 3-player B start from NAVI.
Lurk smoke A main deep. That forces a decision out of Bit immediately. NiKo cooking early. Look at this, side by side.
Ahead of the smoke. That might catch JL off with the timing. They're already through the doors. NiKo, an opener for you right now would be massive.
That smoke's got him worried. And this gap, they've manufactured this gap to perfection. NiKo takes down Bit. One more to find. JL cowering at the back of the site. He's covered out. What? They don't find him. m0NESY does. Into the A site, and one hell of a call.
Back into save territory for NAVI, but Hunter, the namesake, already up close, already ready to rip this out of their hands. Wonderful. And Alexi, white knuckle grip right now.
To find a gap like that.
Yeah, that is wild. It's a crazy call. They took the timeout and they just walked 2 players. It was NiKo and Hunter straight through middle. They literally just power walked through middle.
And in JL's mind,
smoke.
He smoked it,
and they're respecting it.
Yeah, they're worried about mid. They're worried about A main rather. Huh. Well, the hunt is on.
Another tag for m0NESY's AWP.
Yeah, he's had enough of those, that's for sure.
Alexi going to get away with an upgrade into an AK. Wonderful, should be able to retain this AWP. One more round and we go to overtime. This is how you want to kick off a semi-final.
Feels like we've been given the gift of just incredible games here. The first major on the new Source 2 engine, and it feels like these games, they just deliver, they pack a punch, they consistently surpass expectations. But this can still end in regulation, chat.
Well played. He's taken the 30 seconds, the last tactical timeout, and see him right now with my very eyes pacing back and forth looking directly at Alexi's screen. A conversation to be had of how they can close this down. They saved AK and saved AWP. What type of purchases are they going to be able to bring into the round behind them? MP9 for JL. Silence M4s for Bit and Imma. Plenty of util kits are in play. We're going to lock horns with everything both teams require. G2 win this, we go to overtime. NAVI pick it up 13-11. Heartbreak on G2's map choice as we turn to nuke map number 2.
1 minute 55, anything can happen. Every decision further towards victory or defeat. m0NESY on the scope.
They're really going to tussle with Imma. He's had impact over towards this side of the map. Sure, he's been pantsed a few times. Needs to harass. Not going to hit the mark. Oh, Alexi's taking the MP9 out of JL's hands.
Yeah, he's chosen to play close. They could overlook this. He's playing for this exact angle. They've run straight past him. Hooksy onto Imma, but they're not ready for Alexi. One and done. Hunter, with Hooksy's help, is looking to secure overtime. It's NiKo, another. And wonderful. An impossible task.
Bomb down, 1-on-4, AWP retake at the B site. Kit, util, everything you could hope for, but 4 ferocious individuals wanting to push this to OT. Good luck, Wonderful.
Yeah, good luck, have fun. No fun for Wonderful here. m0NESY, he's running at it with a Zeus. In a semi-final, he wants to rub it in. He wants to get in to the head. And it's going to be NiKo to put him down. Overtime secure. This semi-final needs more rounds. Map 1.
Hooksy putting on a show today, giving us the entertainment we deserve on this Saturday night.
Entertainment's right, Chad. Entertainment. This is high-octane Counter-Strike through and through. Imma's arrived to this semi-final. He held down that B-bomb site.
The ball's on m0NESY, right? I understand they have such a number advantage.
Let's get it going.
A T-stairs smoke looks like it's forced out a responsive Molotov towards A main, making sure they can't push, they can't set the tone, but nexa, he investigates off the back of a flash. Bit finds the opener.
That's a very impressive find from Bit as the A anchor to play such a forward stance, a risk, a gap. And he's the one to profit despite the flash. nexa gone, forced to watch as this 4v5 transpires.
When you think about this Anubis match between these two teams, we've been talking about all the proactive nature of the CTs. It's like a chessboard with the back and forth movements that both of these teams have been opting for. They have this space, we can go here. This is the gamble. We want to try and pressure this side of the map. Both of them have been throwing in the aggressions where necessary. G2 responding with a number disadvantage. Pressure towards the B side.
I think they missed a smoke, Chad. I think they missed a smoke. m0NESY, they'll use a Molotov instead. He's posted on the angle. They're swinging through, gliding into the site, disrupted by JL. One back from NiKo, a clear from the smoke. m0NESY was posted, hold on. It's Alexi B cleared, big from Hooksy. 3v3, they've managed to stabilize. This bomb can go down, the rotation coming through. There is a flank being cooked by Bit, who started with the frag. He found the opening engagement. m0NESY's checking it.
He's dropped the bomb, he wants someone else to plant.
Yeah, but they've already swung through. They're walking up. Safe plant. Bit flanking, nice from NiKo. It's the flank though from Bit. A 2-on-2, a very high stakes game. Smoke, maybe not a kit. I have to find one. Good damage, NiKo trying to back himself. It's Bit onto NiKo. Hooksy can't do anything, and NAVI take round 1.
Starting with the opener on a CT round on Anubis. They'll be happy to close that one out. Wonderful delivery, m0NESY the same. NiKo starting to activate the later this game goes. And maybe Hunter can find his form. 2 more rounds in this first half of OT. Here's the opener. So flashed in Bit, not worried whatsoever. JL as well, able to disrupt on the way in, but m0NESY not ready for the big flank of Bit, so impact from him.
Huge round from Bit. He started that round and he most definitely finished it.
They could see how G2, they didn't really have any space. Even though they had full side control, they didn't have Dark, they didn't have main. So it was quite claustrophobic on the side. Again, this early B pressure, just really wanting to harass. This time, Hunter, the point man, will be mollied back, so exchange on either side of the server. Really just harassing. They want to bait out as much utility as possible.
m0NESY Molotov back. Spot out from NiKo. They know where the AWP is. A smoke exchange.
Been a lot of that in this round already, and there's still 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, so pressure felt everywhere for NAVI.
NiKo, he tried his luck and he's left wanting. 10 HP on NiKo.
Even though he doesn't have the space, NAVI think he does. He applied so much pressure there, they have to come back for a re-clear.
Yeah,
MVP of Wonderful can hold on towards A. Bit and JL can now start to posture forward and clear out closed doors.
Azime got another one in him. It's Alexi flashed into the fight. m0NESY on the AK. NiKo gave it to him. He trusted him. And instead, it's Bit and Ime. Look how fast this is. JL, he's got NiKo's number. Hunter feeling the pressure if he can try and get away. He's boxed in. Punching in the code. They're tightening the noose. 3 from every angle. There's no way out of this one. JL secures it, and NAVI defending a second round already.
This is impressive from both teams, but obviously right now as we put the microscope under NAVI, as quick as they lose space, they've taken something back. And it's not allowing HooXi and the boys to execute freely because NAVI know it's coming. And they're also trying to play ahead of the play or have more than enough numbers available to deal with it. These flanks, these kills through the smoke, Ime again just being an absolute nuisance. Smoke fades, Wonderful's there, nexa goes down. Hunter has to worry about 360 degrees. There's no way out of that, and G2 need a round going into the second half of OT.
Yeah, and this is when those couple of fumbles, those flubs from regulation may haunt you, as well as the knowledge that Alexi B, he calls a good game. Up against his ex-team, it's a one and done. JL, he'll find one as well, so call it 4v4.
Head of the smoke.
Yeah, Wonderful. This is very aggressive. Despite the flash, he's going to play with some sheer aggression, calculated aggression, mind you. No HP is meaningless in the AWP head-to-head. He's playing this angle with conviction. He's playing it with confidence. Ahead of the smoke. And m0NESY down. It's a big find. Wonderful trying to keep the sheet clean on this CT side. Do you really want to peek into me again, he says. Cower in fear. Wonderful is here. 19 frags. G2 yet to post a T round, their last chance to do so. Smoke achieves nothing in the early stages. They're not ready for Wonderful. He racks up another. Damage inflicted, a little nade could do the job, but repositions. Hunter's nade finds one, the 1v3. Alexi B, edge of the smoke, seals the deal. One more, says JL.
That's the hard work done. That is the hard work done right there, and the NAVI fans absolutely love it. 3 rounds on the CT side of Anubis in overtime where the pressure gets turned up a notch. And the big game players struggling to find their feet. You're hoping to get the difference makers to be your hunters, to win out your clutches, your NiKo, to obliterate with a multi-kill round. Well, m0NESY and nexa are the ones who won the 2v5.
Yeah.
And now to look down the road, have the discussion with your team and say, boys, we need 3 rounds on one of the hardest sides of Counter-Strike just to push things to double overtime.
The outlook is bleak. G2 fans, they look like they've still got some morale. Wonderful and incredible round.
You could tell it was desperate there. In fact, HooXi's running back, throwing the heaven smoke, and then entering with the AWP. Nobody wanted to make the move, and HooXi's like, well, I guess I'll do it.
Well, that's the power of a good AWPer, right? You just see genuine fear in the movements, in the plays. Once he got one, The rest were almost set up for him. Here we go, folks. G2, they need 3 in a row, or NAVI will be 1 up in the best of 3. Aggression required. Himmer blinded. Space lost. Well, there's info. 2 have pushed B, says Imet.
This is how they opened up the CT side with the first gun round. m0NESY got the AWP pick over towards main, on towards Bit. They pushed out B main. HooXi got the dink. It's a very, very similar setup. This time, no overreaction from NAVI with losing B main. Sure, long control in the remit of G2 for now. We know this is on a bit of a timer. More than happy just to hit pause and now rifle through their util. This boost is going to take NiKo out of the play.
Yeah, and we saw mid gaps previously. Info on HooXi. Imet still lingers outside B. Who's responsible for this mid hold? They're so concerned about A main. They have to address it from heaven. Nexa's giving it a look. m0NESY and NiKo, the
35
start of this show. They're ready to receive. It's all or nothing right here for G2. m0NESY, what have you got? NiKo. Eat the flash. They're both blind. NiKo, he stands tall. Delivers the double. It's not done. Nexa needs 1. Delivers. Down goes another. It's all onto JL. There's no time for him here. And G2, they pass test number 1. 2 more required. There was ways in which that could have gone wrong, Chad, but they do pass test number 1.
Yeah, and NAVI, they're going to take a timeout. You can see, if it was a B split, it feels like it would have been NAVI's round every day of the week. The hedge from G2. NiKo with that double, looked like they were both going to be finding themselves in a whole lot of hot water over towards A main. It feels like both of these coaches have been finding success after the tactical timeouts. So will NAVI find their 16th? That's the question. I like the fact that they didn't rush things once G2 had taken information across the map and prodded them. They just sat, they waited, and they went later within the round. But this is it. This is the difference maker. 25 seconds on the clock as they come through main. The double, make it a triple, and Nexa does his job. Sets m0NESY up just to take the simple shot onto JL, who has to get a move on.
Yeah, the bait and switch on A main.
Well, here we go. Again, this is great from our ops team, highlighting an aggressive smoke. That one's going to land up towards Rugs, I do believe.
Well, that's going to limit his options. Bit maneuvers forward. HooXi aggressing. There is a Molotov. He's pushing. Extinguish and spray.
What a find.
Straight through the smoke. Are they expecting another? That flash. Ooh, his Nexa's palms are sweaty.
Someone has to be the difference maker for G2 in this round. HooXi can pull the strings from the grave, sure, but it's the CT side. When the kills come their way, G2 need to step up with multis.
LXCB pushing forward. NiKo needs to be careful here. An audible reload. The Finn maneuvers closer. NAVI 4 frags away from taking map 1. Is it Imet to take the fight? NiKo knows this angle like the back of his hand. Intermittent uncrouching. Slips back, Imet on the jiggle. The double peek is imminent. Alexi doesn't choose to do so. NiKo falls off. It's a big one back.
Nexa's on his own. He's stranded. The rotation's miles away.
He's still safe from cams. He repositions. NiKo tucking into the A site now. Mid conceded. It's occupied.
It's time to pivot back towards the B site. m0NESY posted with the AWP is going to have company.
Head to head. Is it m0NESY? Is it his turn? Is it his time? Oh, falls away.
Timer on the main smoke. He had to back off.
What could have been? Well timed from Wonderful, taking the space. Map control.
25 again. It's going to be another
it's
late
on the
hit.
seesaw. It hangs in the balance of 20 seconds. Every decision they make. Is this NAVI's map or do we need another round? m0NESY posted. Is he safe? He nails it. JL gone. Needs another. Falling away. Run down by Wonderful. No! Wonderful surely done enough now. Taken down Hunt to the nade. It finds just a little bit of damage. Wonderful lives on. The double kill from Wonderful. And he's not gonna stop. 24 frags on the semi-final stage. It feels like it was the stage built for him. under the lights, in front of 16,000 fans. Wonderful, doing G2 dirty. With 15 seconds to play with, he walks into the site, he finds the triple kill, and he sends G2 down. NAVI, a map away from a major grand final.